Thanks for that live report. We're also learning more about what's next for the Eastfield Mall property after it's set to close this summer in Springfield. We're told it'll be a state-of-the-art central mixed-use commercial and retail hub. Western Mass News reporter Kristen Burnell joins us now live after getting answers on what that all means. Kristen.
Chris, the Eastfield Mall is expected to close in July of this year. I spoke with Springfield Mayor Dominic Sarno and City Councilor Zeta Govan to find out what comes next for the Eastfield Mall.
They're going to demolish the mall, as everyone knows, and they're going to rebuild, and I'm excited about it.
Redevelopment plans are in full swing for the Eastfield Mall in Springfield, as it will officially close its doors in July of this year. Springfield Mayor Dominic Sarno and the developer Onyx Partners Limited out of Boston say they will provide assistance to the small businesses currently inside the Eastfield Mall during the transition period as the property is transformed. The Western Economic Development Council is also helping those small businesses with their relocation process.
We're just now in an accelerated track, on finding a new location, providing the services to get everyone settled, and really just making sure that we're elevating and helping retain. So that's another focus of ours, ensuring that the technical assistance is infused so that once folks are settled into a new place, that their business continues to thrive.
According to Onyx Partners Limited, they hope to turn the current Eastfield Mall site into a state-of-the-art central mixed-use commercial and retail hub. Western Mass News is getting answers on what that actually means from Springfield Mayor Dominic Sarno.
This is reinventing the mall. Onyx Company is well noted for doing this across the country, especially in the Northeast area. And it's a mixed-use type thing. So you'll have somewhat of a housing component, retail, and business. And the big thing is when you look at the blueprint plan, there's an area for 45,000 square feet, which means a major retailer is coming.
As far as what that major retailer will be, Mayor Sarno is remaining tight-lipped, as the developer is expected to announce it in the near future. Meanwhile, City Councilor Zeta Govan is hoping for it to be a Target store.
I think something like that, I imagine, some big-ticket items. Walmart, I think, needs some competition.
And Mayor Sarno is sharing this message for the community.
The mall is still open, so please patronize the businesses of the Eastfield Mall. So whatever they make is going to help them in that transition.
We did reach out to the developer for comment today, but have not yet heard back. Reporting live in studio, Kristen Burnell, Western Mass News.